everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to the LinkedIn show today. Today's topic of discussion is integrators time, balancers for your work life as a manager, everyday timeout. We have Thomas Welsh, Sunil Kumar, and Rajiv Bajaj joining the show to discuss on this topic, bringing the team onto the board of the discussion panel. Rajiv, Thomas, Sunil, welcome to the show. Over to you guys.
Great. Thank you,
Thank
Prem.
you. Thank you, Prem.
Okay, smashing. So today our title is Integrators Trump Balances. And that'll be for your work life as a manager every time out. And really, what we're talking about today is part one, really, is the struggle of balance. So thanks for joining. And we're diving into a very elusive topic of work-life balance, but with a twist. And how the title came is where the twist is integrating the two seamlessly. We think that that's a much better approach than perhaps having the two in balance, because imbalance implies that they're in some sort of competition. And I think that creates additional stresses. So, Rajiv, where would you think we need to start with this?
Yeah, absolutely, Thomas. It's a common struggle, I feel, isn't it? Managers often find themselves, torn between their professional responsibility and personal obligations. And I agree with that feeling of theirs because they can't ignore either. So the when work demand increase, personal life tends to take a back seat, and quite understandably so. So leading to burnout and strained relationships within their family and the people around them. So they that creates a lot of stress on them. So that's the situation.
I couldn't agree more,
Sunil.
Rajiv, because it is not the manager who suffers. Basically, it is entire team get that feeling, get that impact. And when a manager is stressed and overworked, it sets a negative environment within the team, and overall productivity goes down. Morale of employee, morale of team member also goes down, and ultimately, I will say the company's performance, the company's business performance, that takes a hit. So it is not the manager, it is the whole team and overall whole organization.
Exactly, Sunil. And I think that the primary cause of that seems to be this tension between life outside and perhaps maybe paying attention to one's family and caring for one's family and having the time to spend with them, and the competition with work. So somehow we need to square that circle. So what can we do about it? How do we shift from the mindset of competition between work and life to one of integration between the two?
Well, Thomas, the answer is we all know one approach can be adopting a cycle of Regenesis, which is about restoring the regenerative aspects of management along with the situational ones. Because you need to you can learn very easily how to manage both these aspects, which are very critical and important for every manager. So, by recognizing and prioritizing their regenerative activities, they can avoid burnout and operate to the full potential. So, I think Regenesis is the answer, and I'm sure who better can be there to talk about it. So, Sunil, your take on
Yeah,
this.
that's a great, Rajiv. That's a great point. As far as the regenesis cycle is concerned, that emphasizes on basically three parameters, three important points of the businesses. That is not only related to business, that is related to managers, business owners, CEOs. So we emphasize on three important parameters: internationalizing, strategizing, and individualizing. When we talk internationalizing, it gives the business access to new opportunities, And Regenesis cycles help manager, board members, business owners to develop a process of tailoring their offering for entry and growth in the international market, in their target market, and all the market where the opportunity lies. The second point is strategizing. When we call strategizing, Regenesis cycle helps business owners, leaders to devise a strategy or action plan that is action plan for the growth, what they are basically planning for. And third important parameter, I will say that is individualizing. This is most important parameter according to me because this is basically personalizing. This is basically developing own USP. Devel- This is basically customizing the offering as per the customer, as per the situation, as per the market demand, as per the circumstances, and as per the need of the customer. When we talk business purposes, Regenesis cycle helps the organization to to develop those differentiation, develop those USP, which can differentiate the organization at marketplace. As far as talking regarding the personal point means CEOs, board owners, managers, we help the individuals to develop his own USP, own differentiation at workplace, and that helps in their career growth. That helps in delivering the performance, and we at Regenesis emphasize on these three things. And we always say that when somebody some on personal level or well or organizational level comes on the board, we help them in these three parameters. Thomas, over to you.
Yes, thank you, Sunil. Absolutely. And I think we've noticed, well, I guess all of us have noticed the great resignation, the amount of movement and dissatisfaction with our team members at work. And this is all about aligning our goals, both personal and professional, and finding synergies between the two. And part of that alignment involves recognizing the interconnectedness, the inseparableness of work and private life. You can't have a person come to work and they disconnect from the rest of their life. Work is part of their life. And by integrating the socialization and support within our work groups, we create a lot more loyalty. The team will be much more willing to go the extra mile for us. They'll feel much more like being creative and adding their ideas for us and taking the environment forward. And we all feel better when we've got the two in balance. I've worked in some countries around the world where it is normal for work and life to be much more one continuum, and work flows out of the office into the social environment. It's still going on as a work environment, but it's also maybe with family members present. But it's not kind of all work. It's a kind of nice mix. They found a way to almost square that circle or circle that square, depending on which way you look at it, where everyone can thrive. Rajiv, over to you.
Yeah, that's very, very true, Thomas. And let's not forget the role of employer in all this, because an employer plays a very vital role in making sure that there's a good work-life balance between the for the managers. So a supportive and a flexible employer who recognizes the importance of personal goals can make the difference. And I'm reminded of a story, Indian story, where in the space mission of India, we had our one of the past president, Dr. Abdul Kalam. So he was heading this space mission, and one of the scientists came to him in the morning, and he said, "Boss, can I go back today a little early?" So he asked, why we are going through a critical time. There are timelines to be achieved. Why you are asking for a short leave? So he said, I have to take my son to the circus. So he said, sorry, we have a very tough deadline to achieve. So sorry, we cannot allow you a short leave. So the person went back to the work, and after he started working, he even forgot that he had to take his son to the circus. So when in the evening he went back home, he thought that his wife may be grumbling and son must be in a bad mood, but they were very happy. So he asked, "What happened? Sorry, I couldn't come because my boss didn't give me the leave." He said, "Your boss came and took the son to the circus." And so that was the employer who was a great leader. And he went on to become the president of India. So these kind of real life examples actually bring home the point that the supportive and flexible employer can really turn the tables in creating this kind of a situation. So the contribution, to the organization by the person is rewarded, and they feel connected, and the personal fulfillment is always there when you see these kind of leadership examples. And in this whole situation, everyone wins. So that's what I wanted to share as a story on this point. Yeah.
So true, Rajiv. So true.
Sunil.
It's really a great precedent was having that type of examples, and I always feel that it is not about basically the competition between uh, professional and personal life. It is always creating the environment, creating a culture where both the work-life balance can be seen as a competing forces. Globally, we all know that uh, there is 5 working days now. We are talking four working days now. The global, most of the organization are focusing that the happiness index of the employee. So those are the important factors. The organization has also understood that these professional and personal commitment and making the balance is basically helping the organization to improve the productivity of the employee. So this is important. And to be honest, as a manager, they have to lead someone has to lead example, prioritize their personal well-being alongside their professional duties. So this is important. So I believe in developing the culture where these two these two aspects, professional aspect and professional personal aspect, should be treated as not a competing forces but a complementary aspect of fulfilling existence.
Absolutely, Sunil and Rajiv. Uh, I just wonder if there's anybody out in our audience at the moment that's got any examples of the struggle between uh, work and life that would be pertinent and relevant to this conversation, or any questions actually for us to explore that might take us further into the subject matter here today. And maybe while people are thinking about that, and perhaps Prem, you keep us alert to any questions or comments that come in, we'll take the subject matter on just a little bit more. We feel that part two of this conversation is probably to explore the advantages of integration rather than competition. So now that we've explored some of the challenges, and I'm sure there are many more that maybe we need to think about, of balancing work and life separately, let's shift our focus to the advantages of integrating the two. Rajiv, where would you start here?
Yeah, so Thomas, integration, we all know, is the key for unlocking the full potential we have. Uh, as any person cannot do the same thing for the entire, day, and of course there is a fatigue which comes in. That's why people go for hobbies. People go for different, aspects where they try and do, something where some balancing can be there. But the personal and the professional approach has to be seamlessly integrated. And when we seamlessly blend the work and life, we create a harmonious existence where we can thrive in all aspects of our life. We can feel very involved in whatever we are doing. And let me tell you, most of the people most of the managers, if they are really enjoying their work, they start getting involved in that work so much that they don't have to bother about this work life balance. The point is how to create this integration, how to create this balance, how to create this seamless activity where you take care of both the aspects and create a win-win situation. So that's what I feel is very important. Sunil.
Absolutely, Rajiv. Absolutely. Basically, integrating work and life basically helps to improve the performance of the organization, to improve the performance of the employee. And I personally feel integrating work and life allows the to bring the complete potential of individual on the table. Not getting basic goal also. And when I do that, employees the whole potential of organization, and that gives an opportunity to the organization to take the full potential of the people. Am I audible?
Yes, you were at the end
Yeah,
there.
there was a lag. There was a lag in between, but now it's
Okay.
okay. Yeah.
We seem
So,
to have you back now, Tanya.
yeah, so what I
That's
was
good.
trying to say that the integrating work and life allows individual to bring the complete potential on the table, and that helps the organization to utilize the potential of employee. So it is the duty of employer to create that environment and give value to the personal ambition, personal achievement, personal goals of employee importance. And when that happens, the overall performance of individual as well organization improves.
Absolutely. And let's not forget, as you mentioned there, the impact this has on teams if we don't do this. When managers, can turn the tables and lead by example and demonstrate this kind of healthy integration of work and life, it sets a positive tone for the rest of the team. And it's not that there's a privileged position for the manager, and then there's a not the same position for the team. It has to be the positive tone set for the entire organization. And teams feel supported and empowered to prioritize their well being, leading to greater productivity, greater morale, greater enthusiasm, greater creativity. It's all the things you've just mentioned. And I think that's really important. So, yes, thanks for that. That's a great point. Rajiv.
Yeah, that's a great point, Thomas. Integration is very, very important, and we all know that it fosters a culture of mutual support and collaboration. Again, I'm reminded of an Indian story which everybody can relate to. The Indian hockey team was, participating in a World Cup, and they first time reached the World Cup finals. And the team which was not playing in a very collaborative way, they got some coach or a leader who actually brought in that culture of mutual support and collaboration. So they kind of integrated their individual goals into the group goals. And so automatically the individuals started feeling valued. Their both contribution within and inside and outside the workplace, where in this case it was a playground, improved a lot. And so they won the ultimately the World Cup. So the integration of the goals and integration of the activities brings a lot of good results. And it's all about creating a holistic approach to success, and that benefits everybody who's involved in the overall activity. So even managers are like players when they are working for the company. So they have to actually make sure that each one of them integrate their effort, so that the success can be achieved as a collaborative team.
Absolutely, Rajiv,
Over to you,
absolutely.
Sunil.
And I would like to assess it here that let us not forget the role of third party, role of Regenesis cycle. So we play a very, very important role, and we ensure that how to prioritize the things, how to ensure that activities and there is alignment of goal. We create a framework for sustainable success. This success is not for a year or 2 year. So when you are working with a process, then that sustainability framework get develops. And here at Regenesis, we are having expertise in that, and we help the organization to develop that sustainable, ensures the working a smarter, it's not harder. We all that when you are utilizing the principle of 80/20, you are improving the success, you are improving the contribution, you are improving the productivity. So how to prioritize those things, that is very, very important. How to find out those 20 which will give 80% result, that is very.
There is a question from the audience.
Yeah,
What are
yeah, Prem, let us finish this, then we will take that question. Otherwise,
okay?
it will come in between.
Okay, sure.
So it is about working a smarter, not working harder. It is finding the fulfillment in both our professional and personal life. And I believe that if your future where this professional and personal, you are able to balance both the outcomes, both the objectives, then automatically the organizational performance will improve. So that very important, and we play very, very important role there on personal basis as well as on organizational basis. Yes, Thomas, over to you.
Thank you very much. Um, I think this whole subject of integration links quite closely to the question that we received from the audience. What are some of the common challenges? We've begun to talk about some of those, and it's the biggest challenge is that it's very easy in an employee's life or a manager's life for work to seem to be in competition with life, to be in competition with one's family. You know, how many managers, how many employees have said, I can't come home at the moment, I'm too busy, or to be at home and that their body is present in the room with their family, but their mind is still at work thinking about the stresses and the problems that they've encountered during the day, what they're going to do about this, that, or the other. So they're the biggest kinds of challenges. And of course, stress also. Stress that builds up at work can often be vented at home to do with, stressful behaviors or anger or whatever at home, which is simply, all that stress doesn't need to go home. We need to find a better way to put good balance. So they're just some of the work and life struggles that I think people encounter.
I
And
would like to add here, Thomas, as far as the challenges are concerned, I personally feel there are three aspects of this. The first, wherever you are working, the work culture. So the organization is able to understand the personal objective of goal of employee are not very important. The respected the personal objective, personal goal, personalization should be also given priority, and employees should help the employee to to base. And the second important is the boss to whom you are discussing. So the second question here coming in, it is in managers to discuss and effectively communicate balance. I will say yes, it is absolutely important. communication is very, very important aspect. If one has to discuss with their managers, one has to discuss with their HR, open at the work, as well as one has to open with their family, because families should also understand what is the deliverables one has to do at professional place. So that is also a very, very important. So communication plays very, very important role. So your manager has to understand you, at the same time your family has to understand that, and then you have to create that balance. And both employer, both your boss as well as boss at home, they should understand the priority, that yes, priorities at at both the places. So sometimes it happens that you have planned for a family trip, but at the same time there is some commitment at workplace. Then sometimes you have to say no, and the family should be okay. Similarly, in work, if some urgency has come at family event, then your boss also should support. Very, very important. But I will again stress the one important thing: the framework, the process. How, this, it seems that this is a very easy things, but until unless you develop that framework, until unless you work in that framework, that culture development is not possible, and that is where Regenesis plays a role. Yeah.
Absolutely, Sunil. And it's one of the struggles we have always when we're on air, because Regenesis is so integral and so different from other processes and programs that people may have used. But there are three pillars that we think are absolutely vital, and they're topped off by a fourth. And the three pillars are: we believe that everybody should be helped to develop their personal life and career goals, and to articulate those within the work environment. So there should be a process that supports that, and tools provided for employees to help them think through their long-term goals. It's the biggest problem that we experience when working with individuals. Most people, and we're talking 97% of people, do not have clear written life and career goals for the long term. And by the long term, I mean 15 to 25 years into the future. That's a good framework size. The second thing that doesn't happen is when we bring people together, we don't necessarily dovetail their work goals and their life goals. Now, if you're a great boss, a great manager, a great leader, whatever you want to call yourself, a great executive, it's really important that when you work with your one-to-ones, you're doing them with the courtesy of, one, helping them surface their life and career goals, and secondly, lay out a work-life plan that dovetails the two together, and that the employment be flexible enough to accommodate different people's needs in different ways. Now, to get the nuance and the subtleties of some of this is very simple, but it has got subtleties. And we would suggest that you think about coming and joining the Regenesis community, where these things are explained. Once a month, we provide a briefing session around a whole area of refinement of the way managers manage, the way executives lead, and so on, and the way the directors provide guidance to organizations at board level. So we provide a briefing as to what to include to enable this richer, better culture to come together. And then the final bit is, once you've begun to understand how your employees interface with their work, in other words, you see it as an integrated whole rather than a separated competition, then you can truly begin to do some solid team building. We touched on this a few weeks ago, and there are definite steps that need to be done on a reasonably regular basis, perhaps once a year, once every 18 months, to make sure that people are working together in a flexible, creative, and innovative way as a team to deliver the organization's potential, their revenue, their profits, their success, and all the things that help organizations continue to be great employers. It's much easier for a successful organization to be a great employer than it is for one that's struggling. And as I've just said, we would encourage you to think about contacting one of us on this podcast today, whether it be Prem or whether it be Rajiv or Sunil or myself, just contact us on LinkedIn and let us know that you'd like to join the India Regenesis community, and we will do our best to join the dots for you there. So hopefully that also answers some of the questions about some of the strategies that managers can use, but obviously there's a lot more nuance and subtlety to that. So let's go down to the last section of this particular conversation that we've planned for you today and have a
Thomas,
look at the key.
Thomas, we have another question which is come up on the screen, which I brought it up. What are
Yeah,
some strategies can managers employ to effectively communicate, negotiate better work-life balance with using
I think
technology?
that's what was trying to answer actually. Uh,
Okay.
this
Yeah,
is
yeah, yeah. That was the so let me add here a little bit
yeah,
more on this frame because work-life balance is something very basic one has to achieve, but at the same time the career goals are also important. So sometimes you need to be very clear, as Thomas mentioned, that your career goals and your personal goals should be well written, well documented, and most of the people they don't have it. That's our experience. And you don't have to negotiate better work life balance. You have to actually strategize and achieve it. So when you are actually communicating to both the sides, that is your employer as well as to your family, what are your personal goals, what are your career goals, what are you trying to do, what gives you happiness, and a mix of all this brings together the results. And as Thomas mentioned, if you want to know more, there is a lot we can share, and that's where the cycle of Regenesis will give you all those inputs, and you can join our community, and we can give you regular inputs on all these issues. Yeah, Thomas.
yeah, that's great. Thank you. And I think what the audience seems to be moving towards is our kind of third major area that we'd like to talk a little bit about, which is what are the keys to that integration and balance? Because I think the two do travel together, and we don't live. We're not separate people. It's not one person at work and another person at home. We're in one life. We're all of us trying to bring it all together in a harmonious, intentional whole, and that's what this is about. And in our final segment, let's discuss the keys, what we see as the keys to an integrated and balanced approach to work and life, and how this minimizes stress on the individual. Rajiv, back to you. What would you say is the key aspect here?
So here comes another strategy which we are sharing with you. Is one key aspect is, of course, intentionality, which means that we must all be intentional about aligning our work and life goals. So the intention has to be very clear, that we have to align these two things. As in a four-wheeler, if all the four wheels are not aligned in one direction, the confusion is bound to happen, and the car is going to go to wayward, or is going to face challenges. So we have to ensure that we have a very clear cut intention of managing and aligning our work and career goals and life goals, and of course ensure that we complement rather than compete with each other. So we don't have to make these goals go in a direction where competition starts happening. So we must have a complementary career goals as well as the life goals. And of course this requires a lot of balancing act. This requires a lot of introspection and prioritizing of what truly matters to us, what is important for us, what we really want to achieve in life. And as I said earlier as well, we start enjoying our work rather than doing work. So that's the key for making sure that there is a intentional adjustment of your work and life goals. What you,
Yeah,
Sunil?
absolutely, Rajiv, absolutely. And part of this intentionally involves strategizing and individualizing our approach. So it is important that we have to make the strategy, you have to formulate the strategy, you have to formulate a strategy how to achieve your individual goals, you have to achieve how to create a differentiation at workplace. And here at Regenesis, we play the role there because we do the 360-degree mapping of the individuals, we do the 360-degree mapping of the situation, the working environment, your employer, and then we help them to formulate a strategy. And when you're formulating that strategy and you're developing the action plan, then during the process, you find yourself that you are a different person. You are a person who get recognized. You are a person who get awarded at your workplace with the same potential. Because as far as your potential is concerned, I personally feel that everybody is having the potential, but alignment of that potential with the organizational objective is very, very important. And when you align that, then automatically that performance comes. So alignment is important, and we help there to align those things. And that is the reason we always say that you can contact us. We are here with our great experience. I think combined experience of 100 years, we can help you out in doing that. Yeah, and I will say that we need to have basically the two steps. We need to have you need to have a clear objective, what exactly you have to achieve. You have to set the priority, both personal priority as well as professional priority. And the second most important thing is execution. So you have to develop the action plan and make sure to execute it. And with my experience, I can say that the first part people do, but the second part, as far as execution is concerned, they needs external help. They need some review mechanism. Even in organization, if you find the organization where there is no review mechanism, where there is no KRA setting, there is no goal setting, the performance of the organization is at the best of 30 to 40%. And there is always a scope to improve to 60. So we basically help the organization, help the individual to set those priority and develop the action and execute those action plan so that you can achieve the final objective, whatever professional and personal objective you have set. Over to you, Thomas.
Yes, thank you, Sunil. I think that's well said, both of you. I think those are really important factors. And I think it's also fair to say it's not reasonable to expect an organization or an individual to be able to fix this overnight. It's not difficult, but it takes a little bit of, exactly as you've both been saying, sustained effort and sustained focus. You need a kind of plan. And that's why we say to people when they get involved with the Regenesis Network, we're going to help you each month of the year focus on a key area in your work or in your business or in your life that will make a difference. It won't make a massive difference all at once. It may be only 1 or 2%, but that's per month. And if you can make 1 or 2% difference 1 month, and another 1 or 2% difference the next month, and the same the next month, and sometimes it'll be 5% difference. Gradually, by the end of the year, you're achieving 10, 15, 20, 25% improvement in the overall quality of their life. And I think there's three big outputs, and that's health, your health and well-being, and happiness. And for me, those three all travel together. There's your wealth, and if you do good contribution at work and help your organization do better, then it's not going to be long before that begins to be able to show up in your salary, whether you get recognized where you are or whether you just gain the track record that allows you to get paid more in another job if your organization is quite so willing to change, or if it's a great organization where the whole organization moves forward in some kind of systemic growth. And I think what we're all looking for, all of us, at every level, from the most senior managers to the most junior employees now, is this quality of life. So it's really about health, wealth, and quality of life. Well, that's really the perfect triumvirate that most people are trying to achieve. So, in order to do that, we're going to need to recognize the importance of innovation and some kind of system. And Regenesis is that very gentle system. It takes an organization and its managers, and through them, through the managers, all their people, through a gradual systematization of the things that make it possible for an organization to recreate and regenerate itself at a higher level. And we need to constantly innovate and optimize our processes to maximize efficiency and effectiveness, both for our life and our work. And if we can get rid of this need to compete all the time, we can often get much better results by streamlining our workflows and eliminating unnecessary activities. We free up our time, your time, and energy for the things that truly matter in the whole of life. Rajiv.
Yeah, that's a great point, Thomas. And I agree with you that it is not just about the individual efforts, but it is also, fostering the culture of collaboration and mutual support within our organization. I'm remembered of a friend. I asked him, "How's the business?" He said, "I don't do business. I do service. I'm a worker." So, but he was quite a leader at his organization. So, I think every leader, every person who is, even if you are in service, I always, advise the people I'm interacting with that you take the ownership, take the decisions as if you are, owner of that organization, and you automatically start aligning and creating a atmosphere around you, that you create a sense of collaborative approach, and people around you also start supporting you, and the organization also starts understanding that whatever you are doing is aligned with the organizational goals. So when we synchronize our effort and align our outcomes, then we create a more cohesive and productive work environment. And the top people in the organization also start believing you, because they know that your intention is always company first, or the organization first. So if you are having that goal, and if you are having that very clear thought process, it always delivers excellent results for you, and you can always feel. And that is where the cycle of Regenesis is there to give you all these tips to align your thoughts, and make sure that you create that culture of collaboration, and get the support of all your people, whether it is your boss or your subordinates. So over to you,
Yeah,
Sunil.
absolutely, Rajiv, absolutely. And I will say that finally we must embrace the concept of potentialization. It is very, very important because the world is changing very fast, the technology is changing very fast. The way you are doing the things today, tomorrow it will not exist. This is a fact of life. We have seen a lot of examples. We always give the examples of Nokia. We always give the examples of a lot of other companies who have not changed with the situation. When the technology was changing, they were behind, and the great organization had just got vanished. And similarly, that is applicable for individual also. So if you are having some skill set today, then that skill set is not enough to succeed in the future. So you have to understand in what way the world is moving, what are the technology you have to acquire. So those helping those reminders need to come to you. You should not work in the silos that okay, you are having this potential, you have got this work assigned to you, and you're just working on this and you're delivering that. At least every manager has to give 25 to 30%, at least 20% time to acquire the new knowledge, to acquire the new skill set. And organization has also to understand, organization has to also explore that what are the new area, what are the new skill set, what are the new technology they have to adopt. And for this, they have to develop a culture. For this, they have to develop a culture of learning. For that, they have to develop a training schedule. For that, they have to take on board a company like Regenesis, where we are having proven proven and demonstrated framework, and we help the organization to acquire those technical know-how, to support them to acquiring those technical know-how and differentiate at marketplace. So this is for the organization, and similarly for the managers, similarly for the business owners. So whatever skill set today you have, tomorrow that skill set will not be enough for your career growth. Take the example of the marketing. So the previously the sales and marketing means B2B marketing. You are going and meeting the customer F2 face to face. But today, if any organization is dependent on face to face marketing, this means they are losing the bigger chunk of the opportunities, because there is a digital marketing. Anybody who wants to purchase the items what you manufacture, they first go to to Google. They search your organization. So have you done this marketing, digital marketing or not? Your name is coming on first five or first two or first three or not? You have got that review or not? Your product is also get basically recommended by users or not? Those things, small things, play very important role. And believe me, if organization is not putting attention on these aspects, this means they are losing a great business opportunity. And similarly for the individual also. So I will suggest that please connect us. We will we will we will help you out to acquire those skill set. We will help you in what direction the world is moving, and how to acquire those skill set, so that you should be ahead of the race. Over to you, Thomas.
Okay, thank you. Absolutely well said, both Sunil and Rajiv. Thank you for all the points you've made today. I think it really helps us begin to embrace integration and balance in all aspects of our lives and work. And um, hopefully, it brings us a brighter, more harmonious future ultimately for us all. It's why we launched Regenesis. Our aspiration, although this is a very big goal for us, is to try and get the cycle of Regenesis and the support to understand it and take it through in a year is available to all managers throughout the world. That's our ultimate goal. So it is a big goal, but right now our focus is on bringing it to India. We believe there are many really important values and cultural aspects that would be of real benefit to take out into the world on a wider basis. So absolutely, we want to help as many managers and company owners and directors and executives in India take in the cycle of Genesis, because we know it adds real value. So what we'd like to do today is do something different. If you're interested in joining the network, then we would suggest, rather than use the link that's here today, we talked about this over the week when we got the response last week, and what we decided to do is make it one entry for everyone at the moment. So if you would like to do this, if you would like to become involved, then contact one of us through LinkedIn and simply title your kind of message with Cycle of Regenesis. And we will know exactly then to make an appointment to talk with you, understand where you're coming from, what you want to achieve, and then we can take it from there. But assuming that you are interested in that and you would like to and that's just without obligation to find out more, we'd love to welcome you to the Regenesis family and take you on board so we can embark on this journey of growth and transformation together. This integration aspect is central to it all. As you step into the Regenesis community, you're opening the door to a world of endless possibilities in our experience for personal and professional development. And you're tapping into a wealth of resources because of all the other managers in the network. And it's resources and support designed to help you realize your full potential as a manager, an executive, a director, or any other variation of that, whether it's supervisor or team leader, whatever it is. And here are just a few of the benefits awaiting you. The biggest thing is we try and ease you through a year by giving you a monthly briefing. One Wednesday every month, you'll get a monthly briefing to describe an area of focus for you for the next 30 days. It helps you dive into the detail of providing you with the strategies and tools that you can adopt and adapt to achieve your personal and organizational goals in that area of focus. It then enables you to get on a 30-day sprint where you take whatever action you can. You don't have to take a massive amount, but in all the 12 areas, there are things you will be able to do to make a difference. That 1 or 2% adds up through the year. And the second thing we do is to make sure you don't get stuck. You're never alone with our kind of support community. Apart from the fact that you can tap into the community at any time, 24/7, you also get the opportunity to join live Q&A Zoom calls every weekday. And they'll be held either on a Monday, Wednesday and Friday. They'll be 4 till 5 p.m. IST, or on a Tuesday and Thursday, the 4 till 4:30. So you've got this community where you can just drop in. You can email or message your questions in advance, and we will do our best live to kind of deal with all those questions as you go. Once you're in the community, you are then able to make a welcome post and introduce yourself to the community and deepen your connections with fellow members. That in itself has a value. And you'll be able to share a brief overview of who you are, what you do, and start building those meaningful relationships. As soon as you join, the biggest thing we do is enable you to book a one-to-one personal onboarding session. Here, one of us or a couple of us will work with you one-to-one or two-to-one sometimes to show you how to use the cycle of Regenesis in the year ahead. And having that understanding really helps. We help you fully intentionalize your life and career and make a proper, coherent plan for yourself and your work and how your career might develop. We also give you our 15 to 25-year life and work design kit. Normally there's a charge for that, but if when the onboarding session, you get that completely free in the first month. And we also register you as a Regenesis affiliate, so you can refer others, which is nice to do because it welcomes them to the network, but it also gives you a 35% kind of share in the small amount of fees they pay. Normally, if you weren't being onboarded, you would have to. This session would have a value of about $400, but it's included free of charge in your first month. And we want to do that because we want to give people a real help to enhance their worth. Once you're in, you then can add the monthly briefing and the kind of focus month by month to your calendar. So you can mark your calendar for our live group briefing calls, always on a Wednesday, 4 till 5 or thereabouts. Then sometimes they'll be a little longer, but here you'll receive hands-on guidance and support in that particular focus area for the month, ready to complete your 30-day sprint. It's where you build your value, your organizational results, and ultimately your salary. So come prepared with your questions, and let's really jam out together for 60 minutes of growth and collaboration, because that's what it's all about. And then it's important to leverage the community and weekday Q&As, utilize the community platform to get your burning questions answered promptly and efficiently. Whether you need advice or feedback or support, our live Q&A session is there to help you every step of the way on every weekday. And the cost of all this, well, anywhere else in the world, in fact, anywhere else, normally this would be $200 a month. But we've decided here in India, we want to get a really multi-level group going. And from there, we'll figure out what everybody needs in more detail. So the opening fee is just $35 a month. So you don't have to pay immediately. Come talk with us first, talk with one of us, find out what it's all about. So just make that contact on LinkedIn. And at the end of this session, Prem will no doubt put our LinkedIn addresses for you to access in the posts below the video so that you can just tap into whichever one of us you want to contact. So let's roll up our sleeves and get to work. The Regenesis team is here to serve you and support you in every step along the way. So hopefully we're welcoming you today to a journey of a lifetime. And yeah, I can't wait to see what you all can do. Okay, Sunil and Rajiv, anything you want to add to what I've said?
Yeah, absolutely, Thomas. Well said. And I will say that let us embrace the integration and balance in all aspects of our lives. Cheers to the brighter, more harmonious future for all of us. And I would like to answer the question of Pranjal. He has written that are there specific tools for techniques for managing stress? Yes, Pranjal, it is. But every situation is different, so it is a customized approach what we have to do. So you have to connect with us, and we can discuss one to one, and we can support you in your journey. And with our experience, I can assure you that you will be in good hand, and you will get the right support, and you will come out with this. The simple suggestion we all know, that whenever you are come with a lot of stress, deep breathe and then go to your seat, think, and after that you align your team with your objectives. Don't keep everything in your mind, you just flow it, and take your team in confidence. Align your team members are not your working professionals, basically they are your family members. Be frank with them, share the challenges with them. That will help.
Okay,
Very
Rajiv,
true.
if you want to
Very true.
add anything more to this,
No, I think very well said, Sunil. See, we all have uh, the stressful conditions in the workplace, but how you manage it, how you take it, how seriously you take the work pressure, that all is the it depends on you. So you can very well strategically start enjoying your work, as I said, and do a very methodical follow a methodical approach in managing your different aspects of life, as well as your workplace culture should be such that you try and deal with everyone with a lot of confidence. So that's the key. And so I think the cycle of Regenesis, and I must say, Thomas, $35 is a steel price for Indian market, which you are considering. So I think people should grab it, and I'm sure this will create a lot of positivity in the environment around us. Yeah,
I think so. And one of the
over
wonderful
to you.
things that I think is worth celebrating amongst ourselves as a
Yeah.
kind of team with images, we've not known each other that long, maybe just over a year. And we've become really
Yeah.
good friends through the whole process. And that's the marvel of
Yeah.
it. Once you start to work managers with colleague managers, it makes a world of difference. And it's amazing how much you can achieve by working together. And the process that guides you through, the Regenesis process itself, it takes a little time. Don't expect an overnight miracle, but do expect almost immediate shifts. You will be able to see immediately things that you can do that will make a big difference to your life. So we're here to help you serve you, to help you serve your family, to help you serve your organization, and ultimately to help us all serve the world that little bit better. And the point of that, I think, our job collectively as managers, executives, directors, and all the other variations of that role is to help build a better future for the world. My goodness, it needs it just now. So, yeah, we look forward to seeing you soon. Prem, would you like to close us up, please?
I would like to. Great session. A lot of insights there. We've discussed on many topics, that how to bring in synergies in the teams and stuff. Thank you, Sunil. Thank you, Thomas. Thank you, Rajiv, for being in the session today. We are having a next session coming on the 10th of April, which is the Explorers 10x your growth with your external environment with strategy. Thomas, Sunil, and Rajiv will be talking on that on 10th, same at 9 p.m. IST. Looking forward to have you people back on the show. We are live on LinkedIn live, and we are streaming our sessions to YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter in parallel. And the handlers are the same, which is Power of Knowing Forum are the handlers for all the social media sites. With this, we conclude the show. Thank you, everyone. Have a great evening and good day.
Just one last thing, friend.
Thank you.
Can you
Thank
make
you, Prem.
sure we post out the LinkedIn links,
I
profile link for the four of us?
Sure, Thomas. I've scrolled it down on the channel, but I'll post them on the chat as well.
That's great. Thank you,
Yes.
friend. And
Thank
thank you,
you.
everybody. Thank you,
Thank
Sunil.
you.
Thank you,
Thank you
Rajiv.
very
Been
much.
great.
Thank you.